Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the Universal Survival Saga stage of the ESBR. It is a pretty interesting stage overall. I think it's how can I say a one that's got a lot of options. Obviously nowadays Universal Survival Saga has undergone some huge buffs recently. So this ESBR is not nearly as challenging as it was. USS back in the day was incredibly hard to do as an ESBR. I think a lot of players used to struggle with the stage. I think it was one of the more challenging ones. That was always a bit of a challenge at the time. A lot of that was due to the lack of buffs, but also just in general. Remember, they tune the ESBR based on the category, and USS has always been, I would say, a decent category. I don't think it's ever been in a position where it's been truly terrible. Yeah, maybe there was a time just before this recent, round of buffs that it was probably a year behind the meta, but I would say it's still generally always been a decent, fun category to run, just depending a little bit on your RNG. You can build multiple teams for USS. There's Universe 6 teams, there's reps of Universe 7 teams, there's Universe 11 teams, there's hybrid teams between those characters. You've got Rosies and Kukunses, you've got Anilazes, you've got Master Roshis, you've got Blue Duos, you've got Dispos, you've got lots of characters that you can use. To spice things up and make things a little bit interesting, I used Universe 11 here, and I think overall it went more than fine. Universe 11 is one of those fun little categories that's always going to be a subsect of a greater category. Universe 11 is never really meant to supersede USS, right? Like, you'll notice a lot of them have buffs that work with Universe 11 or USS characters. I think the big thing for me when I look at things, when I look at how can I say, when I look at USS as a category, you always kind of want to aim for characters that are going to perform well in the ESBR setting. And Jiren is kind of one of those units that I just like using a lot of in the ESBR kind of setting, because the strength Jiren, he's got that chance to stun. You've got the AGL Jiren, who's very strong, chance to stun. Tech Jiren, chance to stun. So you just got a lot of stunning, which is always super helpful in ESBR, SBR. Universe 6 is also like that. It's a lot of fun to use the tech hit and have him constantly stunning the opposition and causing issues for the opposition and debuffing them and critting them, and it's a lot of fun to do so. Of course, doesn't necessarily mean that it's just easy to win the USS ESBR, but it is definitely now a lot easier because the amount of options you have is very big. You've got the revamped Universe 7 team, you've got Universe 11, you've even got the decent Universe 6 team after their easy A's. They're more than fine, more than capable of taking this on. As I mentioned, Hit, who even though he got his easy A 1,000 moons back, Tech Hit is still very good for any kind of content where you can stun, because he has like 3 separate stun procs, so he can just run around stunning people all day. All in all, I found Universe 11 to be more than fine. Like I said, all 3 Jirens are part of the team. We've got 2 Toppos. We've got the Int Toppo, who provides some nice debuffing and protection. We've got the Physical Toppo, who provides a bit more support in his base whilst also doing some decent damage. We've got, how can I say, we've got the Margarita, thank you very much, who debuffs and seals. So we got a lot of great options, and realistically, all of these options are fantastic. They do more than fine. I use the Pride Troopers of Universe 11 as like a pseudo support as well. So you got enough options to really not be super duper concerned, I want to say, with this event. I think ultimately you can build your team however you want. But I found that, yeah, generally speaking, Universe 11 worked quite well. I think obviously reps of Universe 7 would work more than fine. Universe 6 would be really a lot of fun with hit. But I think there's a lot of no item builds with USS at this point in time, especially considering the age of the stage. So there isn't too much for me to, say in terms of strategy. Like, it would be silly for me to be like, well, this is crucial towards beating this event. I think as long as you've got any of the recent EZAs, I genuinely think you probably won't have any issues. What's cool though is there is a little showcase as to what made this event so hard. So you'll see like my Tyrion took like 3 super attacks. That was part of what made USS so hard back in the day. There were multiple enemies and a lot of rounds, and that meant multiple chances at supering, which obviously just is really hard to deal with. So there's quite a bit of stuff that you had to deal with and struggle with. And I think, that was part of the challenge back in the day. Doesn't necessarily mean that it was super easy, but what it does mean is that there was a challenge involved to it because of that aspect of you having to, how can I say, like you having to deal with different typings and different supers coming in. Nowadays, with the strength of AJ Algerian and units with guard, like in Topo, and even on the other teams, there's lots of units with guard and evasion and things like that. It's just not nearly as challenging as it used to be, because you really mitigate that risk of multiple supers and different typings, and so things are just a lot easier. But with that being said, it's still a lot of fun, at least for me. So yeah, it was a cool time to take a relook at the stage and really try out Universe 11 again. It's a really fun subcategory that I think is always cool to run. But that's it from me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know, and I will see you guys in the next one. So until then, as always, take care and bye.